as a Black woman, it takes a long time for our hair to get to the lengths that we enjoy. My crown, as I call it, was, there's a lot of pride and joy in my hair. Actually, for about 7 or 8 years, I had decided to become natural. So not having any chemical products in my hair, not having any relaxers to relax my curl pattern, like it's all gonna come out. Like, what? And then I'm thinking to myself, like, is it gonna grow back? I just was devastated at the thought of how am I gonna manage like not having hair? And that was honestly the tip of all of the side effects that were gonna come from it. Getting it cut and coming home that night, and my husband started crying because he was like, oh, like, you're really having to do this. Here we go. Okay, that's the option. Bag outside of my body that I would need to empty. I was wondering, are my clothes gonna fit? Am I gonna have to have additional things to use the bathroom? Am I gonna have to change what I wear? Because I usually would wear fitted things. And so now am I gonna have this bag that's gonna dictate, am I still gonna be what I thought was attractive? You name it. I thought all those thoughts. There were other sections in the binder to talk about potential, what could happen after the surgery, right? And one of those things was you could be hypercontinent, lose all ability to control how you use the bathroom. Those were the fears that I had. And then also how it could impact your sexual relationships, your spouse. And I just remember thinking, okay, look, this is a whole lot more than, what I initially bargained for.
So when you're thinking about being married and being young and not having a vagina, that could be traumatic to your relationship. I never would have thought to ask, but somebody in my support group brought it up. And I talked to her, and she became one of my close friends too. And when she had her bladder removal surgery, they removed all of her vagina except for maybe 2 inches, which means that she would have to come back later and have a reconstruction of her vagina. And I was like, oh no, that is what I'm not doing. I said, I don't have muscle-invasive disease, so it's not out of my bladder. I do not want to have no vagina. There's been a lot of people on the site whose partners have left them. They have cancer and their partners leave. One, because mentally they can't handle it, or two, this situation, it's like they can't wrap their head around the fact that their sex life is going to be very different.
My husband, I remember thinking as a woman, am I going to be able to help you meet your needs? Are you going to be like disappointed in, still being married to me? Because now this, for better or worse, is looking a whole lot worse than when we started 16 years ago. And I would find myself stressing for what the outcome would be. And that's why, when my husband would come back and say, right here, we're going to conquer the day. We're just going to conquer the day.
So this is important, this quality of life, right? So it's not just about living, it's like living your life abundantly and having the best life that you can possibly have.